Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, in a major blow to YSR Congress party, 2 MPs have resigned and joined the TDP. Nandiyal MP from YSR Congress party, SPY Reddy, and Kurnool MP Butta Renuka have left Jagan's party and joined hands with Chandrababu Naidu. YSR Congress has begun damage control and the party leadership is attempting to prevent flocking to Telugu Desam party. According to sources, as many as 30 leaders from the YSR Congress party are ready to join Telugu Desam. SPY Reddy and Butta Renuka also met TDP chief Nara Chandrababu Naidu at Andhra Pradesh Bhavan in New Delhi. It is understood that these 2 leaders have been maintaining distance with the party leadership from day one of being elected. Sources say that 4 or 5 MLAs from the YSRCP are planning to leave the party and switch over to TDP. It may be recalled that SPY Reddy too did not turn up for a meeting held at Idupulapalya. Well, looks like YSR Congress's loss is the TDP's gain, quite literally, as 2 MPs have quit the YSRCP to join Chandrababu Naidu's Telugu Desam party, which managed to emerge victorious in the Lok Sabha elections that just went by. Moving on now, close to 150 Bengalurians staged a protest near Shanti Nagar against the recent hike in bus fare. They staged a protest at Wilson Garden and were planning to take out a procession till the residence of Transport Minister Ramalinga Reddy. They demanded that the minister approach them and take action to sort out their grievances. Well, however, Arugodi Corps intervened and took all the protesters into custody. Well, in fact, there we have it. These were the scenes witnessed in Wilson Garden as residents staged a protest against the BMTC's sudden and steep bus fare hike. But though the Transport Minister did not respond to them, the police officials were quick to react and have detained many of the protesters. Well, many of the protesters holding up posters shouted slogans against the BMTC for the hike in fare without any explanation, without any response from the Transport Minister. The protesters wanted to march all the way to the Transport Minister's residence in Wilson Garden, but instead were stopped short by the police officials and detained. And moving on now, Anna Hazare is in Bengaluru and the anti-corruption crusader today inaugurated the Asli Azadi Abhiyan. Pejawar Shri, the head of the Krishna Mutt, former Lokayukta Santosh Hegde, freedom fighter H.S. Doraiswamy were also present along with Anna Hazare at the event that was held at Gandhi Bhavan. Speaking at the function, Anna condemned the unparliamentary behaviour exhibited by the MLAs and MPs of late. He also added that the moral values of our society seem to be depleting with time. Well, Anna Hazare is the man who had brought to light the anti-corruption movement with his fast unto death agitation. Anna Hazare could be single-handedly credited to awaken the entire country against corruption. And today, along with him, the Pejawar Matsya as well as Justice Santosh Hegde paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and urged people to stand up against corruption as he launched the Asli Azadi Abhiyan campaign. Well, along with Anna Hazare was Pejawar Matsiyar, the head of the Krishna Mutt, former Lokayukta Justice Santosh Hegde, freedom fighter H.S. Swami were also part of the event. While speaking at the gathering, Anna Hazare condemned the unparliamentary behaviour exhibited by MLAs and MPs, and he also added the moral values of the society seems to be depleting. And well, sources have suggested that Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha will boycott Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony. Sources say the decision has been taken in the wake of Modi's invite to Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa to attend his swearing-in. Rajapaksa has confirmed that he will attend. Jayalalitha, who is said to share a good rapport with Modi, will also not send any representative from her party, the AIADMK. On Friday, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister had described as unfortunate the invite to Rajapaksa. Well, let's not forget that Jayalalitha and Narendra Modi share a cordial relationship, and it was also expected that if there comes an opportunity where NDA will require external support to form the government, then AIADMK was the direction they will look at. But now seems like there is a bit of an irritation between the BJP as well as the AIADMK as the invitation to Mahinda Rajapaksa for the swearing-in ceremony of Narendra Modi has irked Jayalalitha and her party cadres. And well, after political parties in Tamil Nadu, it's the students who have joined the chorus of protests against the invitation to Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa for attending PM-elect Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony. Protests in Tamil Nadu have intensified ahead of the Sri Lankan President's visit to India. First, it was the BJP's own allies, then the Dravidian parties. However, now students have taken to the streets to urge Modi to review his decision on the invite to the Lankan President. And moving on now, martyr Hemraj's family staged a protest in Mathura condemning Modi's invitation to Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif today. Let's not forget that Narendra Modi has invited all SAARC nations to his swearing-in ceremony, and that includes Pakistan and Sri Lanka, but it looks like several quarters across the country are disgruntled with this move. One of the cops, Hemraj, who lost his life in the 26/11 attacks, his family members today staged a protest in Mathura as they were unhappy with Narendra Modi's invitation to Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Let's not forget that soon after the 26/11 attack, Pakistan and India relationship has reached an all-new low. The ties have been completely soured, and it seems like even a hand of friendship on part of the Prime Minister of the country and an acceptance from Nawaz Sharif has irked the family members of the soldier who laid down his life during a terror attack that has concrete evidence to have originated from Pakistan. My colleague Akshita joins us with more details on this. Well, Akshita, what more can you tell us?
Well, Nishita, this particular area is not too happy with the fact that an invitation has been given to Nawaz Sharif and that he will be coming down to New Delhi tomorrow. But keeping that in mind, the reason they have risen up in protest is simply because in their area, Hemraj, who was, of course, an Indian soldier, was killed just last year. We understand that he was one of those Indian soldiers who were killed by, allegedly by Pakistani soldiers Hemraj's in that beheading incident, and after that, ever since, there's been an outcry in the region. To be specific, this is in the Braj region of Uttar Pradesh, Nishita, and immediately after it came to light that Nawaz Sharif was in fact extended an invitation for Modi swearing in. Hemraj's wife went on to state that while she does not want to comment about matters of diplomacy, she had one simple demand, and that was when Nawaz Sharif sets foot on Indian soil, he should come with Hemraj's head. A very, very sad state of affairs is what we could describe it as, Rishita, because we have to remember that this particular incident shook the entire nation. Hemraj was one of those who was killed, and he was beheaded. It was gory to say in the least, and Hemraj's wife has gone on to make this particular demand, and post that, of course, just barely 24 hours to go, and we're looking at protests already breaking out, be it in Chennai or here in Uttar Pradesh. It looks like some groups are not too happy with the fact that the Pakistani Prime Minister will be making his way to New Delhi. Once again, of course, we have to highlight that Hemraj, the martyr's wife, has stated that she has absolutely nothing to say with regards to matters of diplomacy, but her simple demand is that when Nawaz Sharif sets foot on Indian soil, that he go ahead and return the head of Hemraj. Remember, Nawaz Sharif had commented about this incident. He had blamed terrorists for the beheading, but several people are questioning why Narendra Modi had to take the first step, why Nawaz Sharif wasn't the one who extended a hand to Modi, and it looks like some groups are not too happy with that. Some groups believe that while it is good for the relationship, it's definitely not something that India should have given into, is what they're stating, Nishita.
Right, thank you for joining us with all those details there, Akshita. Well, there we have it. Long drawn-out protests in Tamil Nadu as well as in Mathura as well. While on one hand, in Tamil Nadu, there is protests against inviting Mahinda Rajapaksa to the swearing-in ceremony. On the other hand, we understand that the family members of one of the Jawans who laid down his life during the 26/11 attacks are disgruntled with the Prime Minister-elect for inviting Nawaz Sharif. Well, with just a day to go for Narendra Modi's swearing-in ceremony, the list of ministers to be inducted into the new cabinet is likely to be sent to President Pranab Mukherjee today. A small cabinet is likely to take oath along with him tomorrow in the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan. Sources say some senior BJP leaders, including Rajnath Singh, Arun Jaitley, Nitin Gadkari, Sushma Swaraj, Arun Shauri, Ravi Shankar Prasad are expected to find a place in the cabinet. The BJP is also considering berths for its allies like the Shiv Sena, Chandrababu Naidu's Telugu Desam Party and Ramvilas Paswan's Lok Janshakti Party are expecting ministries based on their good performances in the polls. The Akali Dal, the BJP's Punjab ally, has said it won't join the central government though. In fact, there we have it, Modi Sarkar taking shape there, but Narendra Modi also holding the cards very close to his chest, not divulging too many details as to who's getting what portfolio, but a lot of lobbying going around as far as the allies are concerned, after a series of meetings with BJP leaders to decide on what cabinet berths they will be getting. Allies, crucial allies such as TDP as well as Shiv Sena lobbying for berths.